Today we're going to be covering a Spider-Man issue, issue 6 of Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. And in this issue, well, I think you need to watch it to see what happens. Because this is a very interesting issue, including Spider-Man's newest, sidekick. If you're wondering where you are, this is the complete story series. We do it here at Comicstorian to catch you up on your favorite comic books, video games, and movies. And today, we're covering Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man number 6. Lightning cracks over the New York skyline as the rain pelts on the Manhattan Bridge. In the night, an evil laugh rings out. One of the support lines has fallen, pinning the Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man beneath it, and Doc Ock laughs, holding up his prize. "You have failed, Spider-Man! The box is mine! New York will be powerless!" He cries out victorious, smiling down on his fallen foe until he is surprised from behind. "Hey!" a young voice calls out. "Get every single one of your hands off of him!" Yet Doc Ock laughs at the young man standing before him. "Who are you?" he questions. "I'm Spiderbite, and I wouldn't be laughing if I were you." Yet Octavius just laughs harder. "What is this kid? 8? Spiderbite's eyes narrow at the insults as he flips over Doc Ock's head, landing gracefully behind him, throwing a hard right hook. "I'm 9.5! The blow knocks Doc Ock away, and Spiderbite quickly grabs onto his mechanical arms, swinging the arms hard, pummeling the villain again and again. "Stop hitting yourself! Stop hitting yourself!" he calls with every blow. Beneath the mask, Spiderbite smiles. He can do this all day. "Seriously, I can. You have so many arms to choose from." Doc struggles, finally calling his ally in crime. Spider-Man tries to warn his sidekick, but it's too late. The Vulture comes sweeping out of the smoke and haze of destruction, grabbing Octavius from behind, flying away. The pair fly to the raised subway tracks, quickly boarding one of the cars. Doc Ock smiles as he looks back at our heroes. "The box is ours!" That's, unexpected. Very few nefarious supervillain schemes rely on public transportation, Spider-Man notes. And he pushes upward, trying to raise the fallen piece of bridge off of himself to no avail. "Okay, I'm not going anywhere. Little help?" he calls out to his sidekick. Spiderbite peers at the destruction. "I don't think I can lift it," he says plainly. But Spider-Man just looks at him. "Sure you can. You're stronger than you think. We all are." Together, the two heroes lift the debris, freeing the web-slinger, and they bump fists. "Thanks, Spiderbite." They quickly swing away, having a train to catch. As the two move through the cars, Spider-Man turns to his ally. "You gonna tell me what's in that box?" he questions. But Spiderbite merely states that it's the heart of the city. The conversation is stopped as both heroes' spider sense begins to tingle. Black Cat smiles as she stands up, throwing away her disguise. And there is Kraven, destroying one of the benches in a show of strength. But their senses are going crazy as the heroes turn to the villains behind them. "Clever girl," Spidey quips, but Spiderbite merely looks at him in confusion. "Aw man, you're just too young for that reference, aren't you?" he jokes as the two launch into the fight. As the car pulls into the Grand Central Station, the door explodes outwards and the villains run off, with the spider pair right on their heels. "You gotta be kidding me," Spider-Man cries as he stops short in the main lobby of the station. The heroes now stand before Green Goblin, hovering on his glider with the rest of the Sinister Six standing behind him. The villain orders Mysterio to remove the illusion, revealing the room. "No more Sinister Six. I present Sinister 60! A full host of Spider-Man's many villains fill the room, staring down at the pair of heroes. The two don't hesitate though, and they launch themselves into the fight. Spider-Man and Spiderbite separate, flipping, kicking, punching their way through the room. A quick use of the Hobgoblin's pumpkin bombs drops Kraven as Spiderbite launches onto the back of Juggernaut. Next, the young sidekick drops Mephisto with a single punch as Spider-Man fights behind him. One by one, the villains fall, no match for the fighting duo. Doc Ock, Boomerang, Mysterio, Shocker, Scorpion, Tombstone, Sandman. None of them can stand before them. In the end, the smoke clears and only Green Goblin remains. He puts his hands up as the two clench their fists, and a double punch drops the villain. Spider-Man pulls him close, questioning how he put all of this together. "Me? I'm not the mastermind behind this." Goblin smiles. Spider-Man turns to his sidekick. "If not the Goblin, then who?" "Up here," a voice calls from above, and the heroes turn to see Stiltman towering above them. "Stiltman? This has all been put together by Stiltman," Spidey says with disbelief in his voice. "I wouldn't underestimate Stiltman," Spiderbite solemnly states. "Please! He has the proportional power of a man on a really tall ladder." With a crash, Stiltman launches himself through the great window of the Grand Central Station, pushing forward into the city. The two heroes swing after him, quickly encircling his legs with webbing and toppling him over. The box falls, quickly scooped up by Spiderbite. Shortly afterwards, The two heroes take a break in a nearby roof. I can't believe it came down to Stiltman, Spider-Man laughs. Why not? He's one of your greatest foes. You only think that because he's tall. Maybe. Spider-Man comes and sits with his partner. You're 9.5. You'll grow. And then sadness suddenly fills Spiderbite's voice as he looks at the ground. I hope so. Finally, the young sidekick reveals what's in the box, pulling free a Spider-Man action figure, and he hands it to the hero. Do you have this one? Spider-Man just laughs. Does he really think that he collects action figures of himself? But he pauses. Yeah, I do. Don't tell anyone. The two keep joking back and forth until coughs begin to fill Spiderbite's chest. And Spider-Man tells the young kid that he can take his mask off. They just saved the whole city. I think that's enough adventure. Nathan lets out a sigh as reality begins to sink in, and he looks around at his hospital room. His family and the nurses were playing with him and his hero. Spider-Man hops down, lifting the kid off of the lockers, handing him over to Stiltman. You were a great Stiltman, Dad. Nathan smiles. And the rest of the nurses begin to clean up as Nathan's mother and father put him back into his hospital bed. Nathan is all smiles. There were a bunch of continuity errors, but he got to fight the Sinister 60. He sits on the edge of his bed because he's not tired. Yet his mom knows that even superheroes need their rest, and she looks to Spider-Man for backup. Absolutely! Saving the city is exhausting. I don't want to go to bed! Nathan suddenly screams out. His parents and Spider-Man just look at him. And Nathan begins to apologize. He didn't mean to ruin everything. But Spider-Man leans in. You didn't ruin anything. I had a great day. It was one of the most epic team-ups ever, he tells him. Nathan's parents ask if they can speak with Spider-Man outside real fast. Standing in the hospital hallway, they apologize for Nathan's outburst. But Spider-Man understands. No one wants to go to sleep when they're having fun. But it's not that. He's worried that he won't wake up again. They tell him, sadness filling their eyes. The hero turns to stare at young Nathan through the window, and the boy's playing with his Spider-Man mask. And he turns finally back to the parents. Does he have a coat? Something warm? He asks. He goes back into the room where Nathan continues to apologize. Do you want to be Spider-Man for a day? He asks. Nathan smiles. They had a fun time. Good, because the day's not over. The city passes below them as Nathan clings to his hero's neck, a big smile on his face, as they swing over the rooftops. So this is truly a heartwarming story. To see the Spider-Man going out of his way to help a small child who is in need. It's a heartwarming story, and it's one of my favorite stories that Tom Taylor has written. If you're wondering who Tom Taylor is, he wrote X-23 when she was all new Wolverine. He's written Deceased. He's written the Injustice series. This guy has written some of the most amazing stuff and has a great range as a writer, because he can go from doing this story with Spider-Man to killing everyone in Deceased. Either way, I hope you guys enjoyed, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel, because as we get closer to the Spider-Man movie, we've got more Spider-Man coming out. It's kind of like, we were holding a bunch for when the movie came out. Here it is, and it's coming out, so subscribe, and we'll see you next time.